Yes, Prabhu, sorry.
So, Hare Krishna. So, since it is the first class of the new year, I just wanted to take one shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam, which is very apt for the new year. Before going into your class, with your permission, Hare Krishna. So, this is coming in the fifth canto of Bhagavatam. 18th chapter, shloka number 9, where it is captured as one of the, it is narrated as one of the prayers of the residents of Jambo Dvipa. And please let me know when you are able to see, if you are able to see my screen and
Yes, we
if you
can
are
see.
able to hear my voice clearly. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
we can.
Hare Krishna. स्वस्त्यस्तु विश्वस्य कलाः प्रसीदताम् ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मितो धिया मानश्च भद्रं भजता ददोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी त्वयि हरि ओम् हरि ओम् Hari Om Tat Sat Hari Om. So the meaning of the shloka is that may there be good fortune throughout the universe and may all envious persons be pacified. May all living entities become calm by practicing bhakti yoga, for by accepting devotional service they will think of each other's welfare. Therefore, let us all engage in the service of the Supreme Transcendence, Lord Sri Krishna, and always remain absorbed in thought of Him. So, just when today's class was about to start, Subal Prabhu was sharing that the number of participants is coming down and we should do whatever we can to reach the message to more and more devotees. So, if you see the last line of this shloka, therefore let us all engage in the service of the Supreme Transcendence Lord Krishna. So, Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 18, that the topmost service to Lord Krishna is someone who takes my message to as many people as possible. So, when I used to go to this ashram for outreach programs, I used to tell something which is very simple as a target to the ashram devotee. So, uh, just for your information, we have this labor camps in Dubai, and in in India, normally we may not have that, but in Dubai, they stay in the accommodation provided by the companies, and from where they come to work. So instead of calling them labor camps, our senior acharyas advised us to call them as ashrams, and we have 5 to 6 ashrams in Dubai, and we go for outreach programs. And when I go there, I used to give them a very simple target. So every month, let us bring one new devotee to the satsang. So there were around, if I remember, around 15 years back when we started in DIP and Jebel, it was around 30 plus, and today they are well above 100. So, in this new year, it need not be a resolution, but let us try to have an internal target of bringing one new devotee to this class every month. I believe it is not a very difficult target. It's only a word of mouth and speaking and even commitment from our side. Hare Krishna. So let us go to today's the shlokas, starting from the third. Canto 7th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, Shloka number 20. And let us start with the Mangalacharan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiryayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. So, Hare Krishna, we are in the seventh chapter of the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srimad Bhagavatam is a nested conversation. We have several conversations. Uh, Devotees talking about conversations to others. So that is what is called as nested conversations. And this particular chapter is a conversation between Vidura and Maitreya Muni. And Sukadeva Goswami is explaining this conversation to Maharaj Parikshit. That is what we need to keep in mind. And in the first 15 to 16 shlokas, Vidura is telling Maitreya Muni, based on his previous instructions, that he has, because of your instructions, because of whatever you told, I am more clear now. So like that he's telling, and he is now continuing that conversation. Vidura is talking Maitreya Muni as to how whatever Maitreya Muni has told has helped Vidurji in removing certain doubts and also giving more clarity on different aspects. That is what we are seeing now, and we are continuing from this shloka number 20. Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 7th chapter, shloka number 20. दुरापाहि अल्पतपसः दुरापाहि अल्पतपसः सेवा वैकुण्ठवर्त्मसु सेवा वैकुण्ठवर्त्मसु यत्रोपगीयते नित्यं यत्रोपगीयते नित्यं देवदेवो जनार्दनः देवदेवो जनार्दनः दुरापहि अल्पतपसः सेवा वैकुण्ठवर्त्मसु यत्रोपगीयते नित्यं देवदेवो जनार्दनः. So, the meaning of the shloka is that Dorapahi alpa tapasah. Alpa tapasa. Tapasya means austerity. Alpa tapasya means those who don't follow any kind of austerity. So he says, Seva Vaikunta Vartmasu. So if we don't do austerity, we don't get opportunity to serve those who are on the path to Vaikunta, which means we will not get opportunity to serve devotees if we don't practice austerity. So then it says, Yatro Pagiyate Nityam Deva Devo Janardanaha. So, Deva Devo Janardanaha. So, the Lord of all Lords is Lord Krishna, Janardana. And Yatro Pagiyate Nityam, Nityam. So, devotees engage 100%. Nityam is 24/7. So, 100% all the devotees are engaged in the service of Lord Krishna and glorifying Him. And if we don't practice austerity, we will not get opportunity to serve the devotees. That is the meaning of the shloka. Can I request Rao Prabhu to read the translation and purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Purport, sorry, translation. Persons whose austerity is mere can hardly obtain the service of the pure devotees who are progressing on the path back to the kingdom of Godhead, the Vaikunthas. Pure devotees engage 100% in glorifying the Supreme Lord, who is the Lord of the demigods and the controller of all living entities. Purport. The path of liberation, as recommended by all authorities, is to serve the Mahatma transcendentalists. As far as Bhagavad Gita is concerned, the Mahatmas are the pure devotees who are on the path of Vaikuntha, the kingdom of God, and who always chant and hear the glories of the Lord rather than talk of dry, profitless philosophy. This system of association has been recommended since time immemorial, but in this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, it is especially recommended by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Even if one has no assets of favorable austerity, if he nevertheless takes shelter of the Mahatmas who are engaged in chanting and hearing the glories of the Lord, he is sure to make progress on path back home, back to Godhead. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So, this particular shloka and is very clearly telling that in this Kali Yuga, the main path of going back to Godhead is serving Lord Krishna and also serving the devotees. And we will get opportunity to serve the devotees only when we do the austerity which is prescribed in the scriptures. So when we talk about austerity, in the three there are three shlokas in Bhagavad Gita. So we all have different opinions about austerity. Sometimes we think there are some people who fast on Tuesdays. There are some people who fast on Saturdays, and when we ask as to why we are doing that, they say that my parents were doing that, or they just think that that is what needs to be done. So we need to understand that we are part and parcels of Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna is our Supreme Father. So he says in the Bhagavad Gita that I am the universal Father of all the living entities. So, as the universal Father, he has given us an operation maintenance manual, which is called as the Bhagavad Gita. So this is a example which I take many times I repeat the example given by Srila Prabhupada, and I am going to repeat it now again for my purification. So if you have a Philips television at home, we don't use a Samsung manual for that. We only use a Philips manual. So why? Because the manual will work only if we follow that which is created by the person who by those who manufactured. So we are all part and parcels of the Lord, and Lord Krishna is our Supreme Father. So our life will be successful only if we follow the O&M manual which is given by our Creator, who is Lord Krishna. And in as far as the Bhagavad Gita is concerned, what is it telling about austerity? So there are three shlokas in the Bhagavad Gita, 17th chapter, shloka number 14, shloka number 15, and shloka number 16. And in these three uh, shlokas, it is talking about austerity of speech, austerity of mind, and austerity of body. So Lord Krishna says these are the three things in which we have to practice austerity. Austerity of speech. So just give me a minute. Someone is knocking at the door. Just give me a Sorry about that. Hare Krishna. So, when we talk about the austerity, the first thing which Lord Krishna says is the austerity of speech. So, when it comes to the austerity of speech, Lord Krishna says that we should talk in a way in which
Hare Krishna.
I think Prabhuji went somewhere.
Yeah.
Krishna, sorry for the disturbance. We had one person come here and I had to go and see him. Hare Krishna. So, first is talking about the austerity of speech. So, Lord Krishna says, Anudvega karam vakyam satyam priyam hitam chayat swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva vanmayam tapa uchyate. So, what is considered as austerity of speech? Anudvega karam vakyam. So, talking things which do not agitate people. Then, satyam priyam hitam chayat. So, this is called as a three filter principle. If you want to tell something to someone, Lord Krishna says, apply these three filters before talking. Satyam, are you sure that what you are going to say is true? Priyam, are you sure that do you know that whatever you are going to say, is it pleasant? And the last is that are you hitam? Are you sure whether whatever you are going to say is going to be beneficial? Satyam priyam hitam chayat. Then swa adhyaya abhyasanam chaiva. Swa adhyaya means practicing devotional service, which is reading the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and talking about it to others. Vanmayam tapa uchyate. This is considered as austerity of speech. So he is telling that not to gossip, not to talk about unnecessary things. Second, he is talking about the austerity of mind, speech, mind, and body. So when it comes to austerity of mind, he says, Manah prasada saumyatvam maunam atma vinigraha. I've forgotten the third line, which says that Manah prasada saumyatvam. Manah prasada means being satisfied with what we have. Saumyatvam, self-control. Maunam. Maunam means not keeping quiet. Maunam means talking only about Lord Krishna. Atma vinigraha, self-realization. Then the third line, I don't know why I forgot.
Prabhu, it is Bhav Sanshuddhi Nitya.
Bhava samsuddhi deta. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Self-purification. So purification is by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Then it says these are considered as the austerity of the mind. So this is about the austerity of mind, second shloka. Then the third shloka, it is talking about austerity of body. And austerity of body, it says Deva Dvija Guru Prajna Pujanam Saucham Arjavam. Again, except
Brahmacharya Mahimsa.
Brahmacharya Mahimsa cha Shariram Tapa Uchyate. Thank you once again, Prabhu. So it says Guru Dvija, Deva Dvija Guru Prajna. So paying obeisances to elders, spiritual masters, and Lord. Deva Dvija Guru Prajna Pujanam, offering obeisances. Saucham, cleanliness, both within both of the body, both externally and internally. Arjavam, simplicity. Simplicity means accepting only things which are necessary to keep our body and soul intact. So this again an austerity. Saucham. So we are in the winter season now, taking bath early in the morning 2 times a day, and then Arjavam, being simple. So not taking things which are not necessary. These are all austerities of the body. Saucham, Arjavam, Brahmacharyam means in this particular context, Brahmacharyam means avoiding illicit sex, avoiding sex with those who are not our spouses. Ahimsa, that not eating meat. Shariram tapa uchyate. These are considered the austerity of the body. So when we talk about austerity, we should not do austerity according to what we think. Austerity should be according to what Lord Krishna says. And Lord Krishna is telling about this austerity in these three particular shlokas. So when we do this austerity, what happens is that Lord Krishna gives us the opportunity of serving the pure devotees. How he will give that? He will give the association of devotees like what we are having now. On a Saturday morning, where we can be anywhere. We can be in a mall, we can be watching Durandar. So we can be anywhere, but we have all chosen to come together to listen to Srimad Bhagavatam, the message of Lord Krishna. So this opportunity is given by Lord. And if if you see the third line, the devotees of the Lord, the Mahatmas, the second and the third line, the Lord says the Mahatmas are the pure devotees who always chant and hear the glories of the Lord rather than talk of dry profitless philosophy. So we have a very a senior devotee in our congregation, His Grace Nandakumar Das. And I remember around 10 years back, he came to our house when we were staying in gardens in Dubai, and he told a very nice thing. He said that if two devotees meet together and talk about going to desert safari or talk about stock market, it is absolute nonsense. So the quality of the pure devotees is that they try as much as possible to keep the discussions spiritual in nature. So there's a very wonderful shloka in the Bhagavad Gita Chatur Shlok where it says, Lord, the devotees of my devotees always talk about me and they get pleasure. Um, Dushyanti cha ramanti cha.
Yeah, Machitta Madgata Prana, Bodhayanta
Jai
Param.
ho, Jai ho. Thank you, Prabhu. Machitta madgata prana bodhayantah parasparam katayantascha mam nityam dushyanti cha ramanti cha. Mat chitta. So Lord Chitta means consciousness. Lord Krishna says, Mat Chitta. In their consciousness, I am there. So consciousness is something which is very deep. So Lord Krishna says, in the devotees, their consciousness is only about me. Machita Madgata Prana. Their life is dedicated to serving me. Bodhayanta Parasparam. Parasparam means one another. Bodhayanta means talking. Bodhayanta Parasparam. They continuously talk about what? Bodhayanta Parasparam Katayantascha Mam. They continuously talk about each other. About what? About my glories. About my pastimes. When do they talk? They talk once in a week on Saturday morning, 10 to 11:30, or once in a this thing. No, he says Nityam, 24 by 7. The devotees talk about me 24 by 7. And do they talk because it is a duty? Do they talk because Subal Prabhu has asked us to do? No. He says, Dushyanticha Ramanticha. So they get a lot of pleasure by talking about me. So this shloka is coming in the Chatur Shloka Bhagavad Gita. And this talks about the qualities of devotees, that they are continuously holding spiritual topics, and by doing so, they get pleasure. So when we talk about austerity, so we need to keep in mind that when we do this austerities which are prescribed by Lord Krishna, he gives us the association of devotees, and that is the reason why in the last line of the purport, Srila Prabhupada has very nicely explained, even if one has no assets of favorable austerity, which means that even on our own, if we don't know what exactly to be done or what kind of austerity to be followed, then if you take shelter of the Mahatmas, basically the devotees who are engaged in chanting and hearing the glories of the Lord, we are sure to make progress. Hare Krishna. Let us go to the next shloka. Shloka number 21. Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, 7th chapter, shloka number 21. Sristwagre mahadadini, Sristwagre mahadadini, Savikarani anukramat, Savikarani anukramat, Tebhyo virajamudritya, Tebhyo virajamudritya, Tam anupravishadvibhu, Tam anupravishadvibhu, Shristwagre mahadadini, Savikarani anukramat, Tebhyo virajamudritya, Tam anupravishadvibhu, Srishtva agre mahad adini. So mahad adini means the total material energy. Srishtva is the adjective of Srishti, so which means creating. Agre means in the beginning. So in the beginning, after creating the total material energy, Savikarani anukramat. So there is a process of differentiation. So in the material world, there is a lot of differentiation, and along with the senses, Tebhya virajam udritya. Virajam is the universal form, Virat Rupa. Virajam is the adjective of Virat, which is the Virat Rupa. Manifested. Tam anu pravishad vibhu. So anu means there are 2 or 3 meanings. Anu is also referring to atom. In this particular case, it is referring to later. So it says that after creating the total material energy, the Mahat Tattva, and thereby manifesting the gigantic universal form with senses and sense organs, the Supreme Lord entered within it. So the shloka says that after creating the total material energy, so which is the total cosmic manifestation, which is called as Mahat Tattva, and thereby manifesting the gigantic universal form. So the Mahat Tattva is also manifested as a universal form, Virat Rupa, with senses and sense organs. The Supreme Lord entered within it. We are going to see about it in the coming shlokas, where there is a description. We saw it before also, where the first uh, form, manifestation, Karno Dakshai Vishnu, is lying in the causal ocean, and from his pores, millions of Brahmand universes come out when he perspires, when he exhales. And then, but each of those universes, they are pradhana, means they don't have life. Then the second manifestation, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, enters into all those universes, and then they get life. The trees, the plants, the living entities, everything become alive. So this is the second manifestation. And then the third manifestation, which is Shirodakshaya Vishnu, enters inside each and every living entity as the Paramatma. So this is in very simple terms as to how Lord Krishna is creating the entire material cosmic manifestation, and also enters into each and every one of them, so that he is just watching as Paramatma inside each and every living entity as to whether, when, and how will the living entity look at me, so that I will take that living entity back home, back to Godhead, so that they can be free from the cycle of life and death. So we may ask, if that is the case, why did he do the cosmic manifestation in the first place? Again, it is very clearly told that the living entities desired to enjoy separately away from Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna always wants the surrender to be voluntary, not compulsory. And since the living entity wanted to enjoy separately, it cannot be done. He cannot enjoy separately. The living entities cannot enjoy separately in the spiritual world. So Lord Krishna had no other option but to create the whole cosmic manifestation, so that the living entities try to enjoy, and then when they find that it is not going to happen and it is giving actually more miseries, they start thinking about going back home, back to Godhead. So there's a very small purport, fully satisfied by the answers of the sage Maitreya. Vidura wanted to understand the remaining portions of the creative function of the Lord, and he took the clue from the previous topics. So Maitreya Muni, Vidura, Vidurji is going to ask some more or questions from this particular part. Let us go to the next shloka, shloka number 22. Yam adyam purusham, sahasrangri urubahukam, yatra vishwa ime loka, sa vikasam ta asate, yam adyam purusham, sahasrangri urubahukam, yatra vishwa ime loka, sa vikasam ta asate. So the meaning of the shloka. Okay, can I request Sushil Prabhu
Yes, Prabhu.
to read the
The,
translation purport?
the
Hare
Purush
Krishna.
incarnation lying on the causal ocean is called the original Purush in the material creations, and his Virat form, in whom all the planets and their inhabitants live. He has many thousands of legs and hands. Purport. The first Purush is Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, sorry, Karan Dakshaya Vishnu. The second Purush is Garbho Dakshaya Vishnu, and the third Purush is Shirodakshaya Vishnu, in whom is contemplated the Virat Purusha, the gigantic form in which all the planets with their different developments and inhabitants are floating.
Hare
Hare.
Krishna. So we just saw that in this previous, when we saw the previous form, this is what I was briefing when we saw the previous shloka. So the meaning of the shloka is that the Purusha incarnation lying on the causal ocean is called the original Purusha in the material creations, and in his Virat form, in whom all the planets and their inhabitants live. He has many thousands of legs and hands. So if we read the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. This particular aspect, the Virat Rupa, is very nicely explained. So we need to understand, our understanding has to be very simple. So if we try to go very deeply into the cosmic manifestation and try to understand each and every bit, it is going to be very complicated. So our intelligence is not that much. What we need to be clear of is that all the each and everything is the energy of the Supreme Lord. Whatever we have and whatever we see. And because of that, we need to be aware that we have whatever, since everything is provided by the Lord, it is our responsibility to serve Him. And serving Him is possible only through the serving of the devotees in the association of the devotees. Srila Prabhupada always used to say that whenever this topic of cosmic manifestation comes, so let the keep the understanding very clear and very simple, that everything is given by Lord Krishna, number one. And number two, we are instruments in the hands of Lord Krishna. And always, as I think I have told several times, that like how a knife is in the hands of a surgeon, we are all instruments in the hands of Lord Krishna. So keeping that in mind, let us do whatever we can to bring as many people. We also should go back home, back to Godhead, and we should try to bring as many people as possible to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Let us go to the next shloka. Shloka number 23. Yasmin dasavida prana. Yasmin dasavida prana. Sendriyartendriyastrivrit. Sendriyartendriyastrivrit. Tvayerito yato varnas. Tvayerito yato varnas. Tadvibhutir vadasvana. Tadvibhutir vadasvana. Yasmin dasavida prana. Sendriyartendriyastrivrit. Tvayerito yato varnas. Tadvibhutir vadasvanaha. So again, there is only a translation. Can I request R.B. Prabhu to read the translation? Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, generally he finds it a bit difficult to read.
Okay, Prabhu. Nehal Mataji, Hare Krishna. Are you in a position to read the
Hare
translation?
Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. O great Brahmana, you have told me that the gigantic Virat form and his senses, sense objects, and 10 kinds of life air exist with 3 kinds of life vigor. Now, if you will kindly explain to me the different powers of specific divisions. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So now, from this shloka onwards, Vidurji is asking some more questions to Maitreya Muni. So in this particular shloka, he is asking Dasavida Prana, 10 kinds of life here. So I think we have seen in some of the previous shlokas, in the previous chapters, and in the previous canto also, second canto also, as there are 10 kinds of life here, and then the in addition to creating this 10 kinds of life here, he is also, there are 3 kinds of life vigor. The fire to digest, and then the power to circulate, and then there is one more, the power to mix or something like that. So there are 3 kinds of life vigor, which is also the different energies of the Lord. And it says everything is the manifestation of the Supreme Lord, Lord Krishna. After creating the living entities, he is also creating these different kinds of air, and he also ensures that the daily process happens by creating these three kinds of vigor. So all those things are being done by Lord Krishna as part of the Srishti, as part of the creation. And he says, "O great Brahmana, you have told me that the gigantic Virat form and his senses." So here the reference is to Lord Krishna. And sense objects and 10 kinds of life here exist with 3 kinds of vigor. Now, if you will kindly explain to me the different powers of the specific divisions. He just wants to understand things in more detail. Let us move to the next shloka. Shloka number 24. Yatra putraischa pautraischa Yatra putraischa pautraischa Naptribihi saha gotrajaihi Nah न प्रतिभिः सह गोत्रजायैः प्रजा विचित्राकृतया प्रजा विचित्राकृतया आसान्याभिर्इदं ततम् आसन्याभिर्इदं ततम् यत्र पुत्रैश्च पौत्रैश्च नाप्तृभिः सह गोत्रजैः प्रजा विचित्राकृतया आसन्याभिर्इदं ततम्. So Putrai means along with sons. Pautra means grandsons. Naptribihi means grandsons from the daughters. Pautra is the grandsons from sons, and Naptribihi is the grandsons from daughters. And he says Gotraja. Gotram is referring to family, and Praja Vichitra means different kinds of generations. Idam Tatam. So they are spread across all the planets. So there are millions of universes, and the procreation of the Lord in terms of the complete population is spread across all the universes, and they are spread across as different varieties and species. So that is what is this particular shloka is telling. So can I request Uday Prabhu to read the translation? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. O my Lord, I think that the process manifests in the forms of sons, grandsons, and family members has spread all over the universe, different varieties and species. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So again, I think in the previous second canto also we saw that how Prajapati has been is empowering Brahma. How Prajapati is creating this procreation so that all the universes are populated, and it follows a proper process of primary creation, secondary creation, and then the tertiary creation. So in this particular shloka, Vidurji is telling Maitreya Muni that, "Oh my Lord, I think that the process manifest," means the process what he is referring to is the process of procreation. So that procreation is manifest in the form of sons, grandsons, and family members, and they are spread all over the universe in different varieties and different species. Next shloka. Shloka number 25. Prajapatinam sapatis. Prajapatinam sapatis. Chakalpe kan prajapatin. Chakalpe kan prajapatin. Sargams chaiva nusargams cha. Sargams chaiva nusargams cha. Manun manvantaradipan. Manun manvantaradipan. Prajapatinam sapatis. Cha kalpe kan prajapatin. Sargams chaivanu sargams cha. Manun manvantaradipan. So, here it is talking about the Prajapati, Brahma, Manus, and also the descendants of Manus. So, can I request Sumati Mataji to read the translation and purport? Hare Krishna.
Hare
Sumati,
Krishna, Prabhu.
yes, Hare Krishna.
Translation and purport by Sri Prabhupada. Jai Sri Prabhupada. O learned Brahmana, please describe how the leader of all the demigods, namely the Prajapati, Brahma, decided to establish the various Manus, the heads of the ages. Please describe the Manus also, and please describe the descendants of those Manus. Purport. The human race of Manushya descends from the Manus, sons and grandsons of Prajapati, Brahma. The descendants of Manu reside in all the different planets and rule all the universe. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. So, the word Manushya is coming from Manu. And so these Manus are basically the sons and the grandsons of Brahma. And it is very nicely told that each and every age has a Manu and for ruling that particular age. And then these Manus are residing in all the different planets. So the Earth is not the only planet. So there are millions of planets, and each and every planet is ruled by the Manus and their descendants. And the Manushya, the race Manushya, the name Manushya is derived from this Manu. So he is asking, Vidurji is asking Maitreya Muni, O learned Brahmana, please describe how the leader of all the demigods, which is basically namely the Prajapati Brahma, decided to establish the various Manus, the heads of the ages. So for each and every age, there is a Manu. And please describe the Manus also and also their descendants. Please describe the descendants also. So one by one, he is asking, Vidurji is asking. He is talking about the cosmic manifestation. He described about the cosmic manifestation previously, and from there he is going one step further. So he is asking, after the cosmic manifestation is done, we know that Lord Krishna, as the Virat Rupa, created the 10 life forces and then the 3 energies. Please describe about that also. Then he talks about the divisions. Describe how those divisions work. Then he is talking about the Manus, how the different Manus were established, and give some more details about the Manus also, and also the descendants of Manus. So, if we, in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna is very nicely explaining to Arjuna. So, Arjuna is asking Lord Krishna, that you are telling that the soul existed for millions and millions of years. So how do I understand that? Because you and me are there here. Then Lord Krishna explains that the soul is eternal. You have forgotten, but I have not forgotten. And he also says that first it was spoke to Ikshvaku, and then it came down to the sun god, and then it came down to the Manus. Like that, Lord Krishna is explaining as to how the disciplic succession happened from Lord Krishna downwards. So these Manus are established by Prajapati Brahma and under the instruction of Lord Krishna. The next shloka number 26. Upari adascha ye loka, upari adascha ye loka, bhumirmitramajasate, bhumirmitramajasate, tesam samstam pramanam cha, tesam samstam pramanam cha, भूर्लोकस्य च वर्णय, भूर्लोकस्य च वर्णय, उपरि अधश्च ये लोका, भूमिर्मित्रात्मजासते, तेषां संस्थां प्रमाणं च, भूर्लोकस्य च वर्णय. So, the meaning of the shloka is that Mitramajasate. So means, O son of Mitra. So Maitreya Muni is the son of Mitra. So he is asking, O son of Mitra, kindly describe how the planets are situated above the earth as well as underneath it. And also, please mention their measurement as well as that of the earthly planets. So, Vidurji is asking as to there are many hellish planets and there are many heavenly planets. So, he is telling, in addition to talking about the earth, describe the planets which are above the earth, which are called as the heavenly planets, and also below the earth, which are called as hellish planets, and also please explain to me about their measurement. So, can I request Rao Prabhu to read the purport? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Translation. O son of Mitra, kindly describe how the planets are situated above the earth as well as underneath it. And also please mention their measurement as well as that of the earthly planets. Purport. Yasmin vijnate sarvam evam vijnatam bhavati. Mundaka Upanishad 1.3. This Vedic hymn declares emphatically that the devotee of the Lord knows everything material and spiritual in relationship with the Lord. Devotees are not simply emotional, as is ill-conceived by certain less intelligent men. Their direction is practical. They know everything that is and all the details of the Lord's domination over the different creations. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So, here, Vidurji is asking to explain these things from Maitreya Muni so that he can understand the signs of the cosmic manifestation as mentioned in the scriptures and not out of somebody else's speculation. And very nicely, Srila Prabhupada has invoked one reference from the Mundaka Upanishad in the purport, Yasmin Vijnate Sarvam Evam Vijnatam Bhavati, which means Vijnate Sarvam. So means the devotees of the Lord know everything which is both material and spiritual in relationship with the Lord. Vijñātam bhavati. So whatever is in relationship with the Lord, the devotees try and understand both the material and the spiritual perspective. So why the devotees do that is that so that their understanding and then their shraddha, their faith is not blind. So when Srila Prabhupada established the Society for International Krishna Consciousness around 60 years back, so people used to ask us to, we have not seen the life after death. How do we understand? How do we accept whatever you are telling? So then Srila Prabhupada always used to say that you may not have seen the life after the life later, but definitely you have seen death. That is for sure. So your grandfathers were there, now they are not there. So your fathers, some are there now, and after some time they will not be there. So definitely you have seen death. And you have to understand, you have to accept after after inquiring inquisitively. So that thing will happen only when we have faith. So if you don't have faith and if we uh, keep rejecting and if we keep speculating something, we will never get an understanding. So the spiritual understanding comes when Lord Krishna gives the lamp of knowledge, lights the lamp of knowledge inside our heart. Jnana Deepena Baswataha. In one of the Chaturshloka Bhagavad Gita, he says that he lights the lamp of knowledge in our heart. So for Lord Krishna to light the lamp of knowledge in our heart, we need to first develop faith. And once we develop faith, he gives us the knowledge. And with that knowledge, we can understand the Lord, we can understand Him both from a spiritual perspective and how He is indirectly connected to the material energies and why He has created that, so that we know that this is temporary, this is not our permanent place, so that we can go back home to Godhead. So, this understanding, the holistic understanding, will come to the devotees since they are in devotional service, since Lord Krishna is giving that knowledge from within. And because they get their knowledge, the direction of the devotees is practical. It is not blind. So that is something which we all need to understand. Next shloka, shloka number 27. Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, 7th chapter, shloka number 27. Tiryan Manusha Devanam, Tiryan Manusha Devanam, Sarir Shripa Patatrinam, Sarish Shripa Patatrinam, Vadana Sarga Samvyuham, Vadana Sarga Samvyuham, Garbhasveda Dvijobhidam, Garbhasveda Dvijobhidam, Tiryan Manusha Devanam, Sarish Rupa Patatrinam, Vadana Sarga Samvyuham, Garbhasveda Dvijobhidam. So, Manusha means human beings. Tiryan means subhuman beings. And then Devanam is basically the superhuman beings. Here it is referring to the demigods. Sarishripa, reptiles, Patatrinam, birds, and then he describe all these things. So, can I request Sushil Prabhu, if you can
Yes,
read
Lord.
the synonyms, word by word meanings, and the translation, Hare Krishna.
Tiryak, subhuman, Manush, human beings, Devanam, of the superhuman beings or demigods, Sarishpa, reptiles, Patranam, of the birds, Vada, kindly describe, Nah, unto me, Sarga, generation, Samvatam, specific divisions, Garbha, embryonic, Saveda, perception, Dvija, twice born, Anhidam, of the plants. Also, please describe the living beings under different classifications: subhumans, humans, those born of embryo, those born of perception, those who are twice born, birds, and the plants and vegetables. Kindly describe their generations and subdivisions also.
So, in the previous shloka, he was requesting uh, him to talk about the Manus, their different generations, and then how they rule the different planets. So now he is telling that um, Vidurji is requesting Maitreya Muni to describe the different types of living beings and their classifications. Means human beings, and then one level below the subhuman beings, then one level above. Subhuman beings is referring to the demonic people, and then uh, it is also referring to the things like ghosts and all those things. Then super devanam is the superhuman beings or the demigods, and then patatrinam, the birds. Birds are considered as the uh, twice born, that is from the um, embryo, and then sarishripa, which is the reptiles, and then he is also talking about um, Udbidam. Udbidam is referring to the plants and vegetables. So there are 8.4 million types of species. Obviously, it is not the population, it is the species, the human species. There are 8.4 million types of living entities, and out of these 8.4 million types of living entities, only 400,000 are the human being types. And that is the reason why we are seeing the different types of skins, different colors of skins, different colors of hair, different colors of eyes, multiple languages, and all those things. So these are the 400,000 types of human beings. Similarly, there are different types of animals, birds, and then amoeba, then we have plants, the trees. So all those things are coming under the 8.4 million types of living entities or living beings. So here, Vidurji is asking Maitreya Muni to explain about those living beings and how they are generated and how they are subdividing. Kindly describe their generations and how they are subdividing also. Next shloka, shloka number 28. Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, 7th chapter, shloka number 28. गुणावतारैर्विश्वस्य गुणावतारैर्विश्वस्य सर्गस्थिति अप्ययाश्रयम् सर्गस्थिति अप्ययाश्रयम् सृजत श्रीनिवासस्य सृजत श्रीनिवासस्य व्याचक्षोद्वार विक्रमम् व्याचक्ष्वोदार विक्रमम् गुणावतारैर्विश्वस्य सर्गस्थिति अप्ययाश्रयं सृजत श्रीनिवासस्य व्याचक्षोधार विक्रमम्. So Udara means magnanimous and Vikramam means specific activities. So the activities, the pastimes of the Lord are very magnanimous. And he says, Sthiti Apyaya Sarga Sthiti Apyaya Ashrayam. So if you see the second line of the shloka, so he's requesting to talk about Sarga, which is creation, Sthiti, which is maintenance, Apyaya, which is destruction, annihilation, and then Ashrayam. So again, taking shelter in the Lord. And then in the first line, Guna Avataraihi means how the material modes of nature, the incarnations of the material modes, means the controllers of the material modes. Brahma for the mode of passion, Vishnu for the mode of goodness, and Maheshwara, Shivji, for the mode of ignorance. We should understand that they are the controllers of these modes. They are not in these particular modes. So he is asking, please also describe the incarnations of the material modes of the nature, and also please describe the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his magnanimous activities. So can I request Uday Prabhu to read Sumati Mataji to read the translation and purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Just a second. I'm able to see the screen. Yes. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada Ji, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Please also describe the incarnations of the material modes of nature, Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara. And please describe the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his magnanimous activities. Purport. Although Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, the three incarnations of the material modes of nature, are the principal deities of the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the cosmic manifestation, they are not the final authority. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, is the ultimate goal, the cause of all causes. He is the ashraya of the final rest of everything. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So as we were talking, the Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, Shivji, they are the controllers of the three modes of material nature, and the final controller is Lord Krishna, Parameshwar, and his activities are very magnanimous. So the pastimes of Lord Krishna are not done for his own pleasure. The pastimes of Lord Krishna are done for the pleasure of the devotees, so that the devotees, after listening to them, after talking about the pastimes to one another, their mind and heart gets purified, so that they go back home, back to Lordhead, to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. So very nicely, in the fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yoveti tatvatah tyaktva jevam punarjanma naiti mameti. So Arjuna, Janma karma cha me divyam. So he says that my appearance, Janma, and Karma, my pastimes, Janma Karma cha me divyam. They are all transcendental. So they are not material like how we think. Janma, the appearance of the Lord. So we all know the way in which the Lord appeared. The Lord did not take birth by the union of a man and a woman. When the Lord Krishna manifested himself, first he appeared in the heart of Vasudeva, and from the heart of Vasudeva, he was transferred to the heart of Devaki, and from the heart of Devaki, he descended to the womb of Devaki, and from there he came out. So Janma, the appearance of Lord, is transcendental, is divine. It is not material like the birth of a human being. Janma, karma, the pastimes of the Lord also. Janma karma cha me divyam. They are all transcendental. So Lord Krishna says to Arjuna that my appearance and my pastimes are transcendental. Janma karma cha me divyam. Then he says, Evam yoveti tatvatah. Somebody who somebody who tries to listen, read, and understand this, understand me, my tattva, through all these pastimes and all these things. Evam yoveti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti. Tyaktva deham. When they leave their body, what happens? Punarjanma naiti. They will not get another birth. Means they will get liberated. And then what happens? Mameiti so Arjuna. They will come to me. So that is the power of the pastimes of the Lord. So when we see the um, last line of this particular shloka, it is taken about Vyachakshva Udara Vikramam. Vyachakshva means kindly describe. Udara, magnanimous. Vikramam, specific activities. So Vidurji is requesting Maitreya Muni to describe the magnanimous pastimes of the Lord. So the reason why he is asking is that when we listen to the pastimes of the Lord, so when we try to understand his pastimes, what happens? Our mind and heart gets purified, and then we go back home, back to his lotus feet. And this assurance is given by Lord Krishna himself in the Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, 9th shloka, which I referred to a while ago. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. So let us go to the next shloka. Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, 7th chapter, shloka number 29. Varnashrama vibhagamscha Varnashrama vibhagamscha Rupashila swabhavatah Rupashila swabhavatah Rishinam janma karmani Rishinam janma karmani Vedasya cha vikarshanam Vedasya cha vikarshanam Varnashrama vibhagamscha Rupashila swabhavatah Rishinam janma karmani Vedasya cha vikarshanam. So here he is requesting to talk about the Varnashrama Dharma. Varnashrama Vibhagamscha. Then he is talking about Rupa Shila Swabhavatah. Then he is also talking about the uh, personal features and then the characters of whom? Of the sages. Janma karmani vedasya. How the rishis took birth and what were their activities, and also about the Vedas and their divisions. Can I request Uday Prabhu to read the translation and purport? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. O great sage, kindly describe the divisions and orders of human society in terms of symptoms, behavior, and the characteristics of mental equilibrium and sense control. Also, please describe the births of the great sages and the categorical divisions of the Vedas. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. The four statuses and orders of human society, Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras, as well as Brahmacharis, Grahasthas, Vanaprasthas, and Sannyasis, are all divisions of quality, education, culture, and spiritual advancement attained by practicing control of the mind and the senses. All these divisions are based on the particular nature of each individual person, not on the principle of birth. Birth is not mentioned in this verse because birth is immaterial. Vidura is famous in history as born of a Sudarani, mother. Yet he is more than a Brahmana by qualification because he is seen here to be the disciple of great sage Maitra Muni. Unless one achieves at least the Brahmanical qualification, one cannot understand the Vedic hymns. Mahabharata is also a division of the Vedas, but it is meant for women, Sudras, and Divji, uh, Divjabandhus, the worthless children of the higher section. The less intelligent section of the society can avail themselves of the Vedic instructions simply by studying the Mahabharata. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So, the Varnashrama Vibhagachaha. So, there is a very nice shloka in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna says that the 4 divisions and then the 4 ashrams, Vibhagasaha, division, was created by Lord Krishna, and it is very clearly told Guna Karma Vibhagachaha. So it was done based on their qualities and based on their activities, not based on birth. So it is very clear. And why Lord Krishna created these divisions? So that based on their particular capability, we can go back, we can serve the Lord in our individual capacities and then go back home, back to Godhead. Srila Prabhupada always used to tell that this ISKCON is a Devi Varnashram, where anybody can serve the Lord according to their capabilities. Somebody can spread the message of the Lord, somebody can distribute books, somebody can collect finance, somebody can organize programs, somebody can cook prasadam, somebody can do kirtan, somebody can do other kinds of service, uh, do transport logistics, take people from one place to another, any kinds of service. Each and everyone have a certain capability in doing some kind of a thing. All we need to do is that to use whatever we are capable in the service of Lord Krishna. And this is the purpose of Varnashrama. So here, Vidurji is asking Maitreya Muni, kindly describe the divisions and orders of human society in terms of symptoms, behavior, and characteristics of mental equilibrium and sense control. So these four divisions of human society, Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras, and then the four stages of life, which is called as ashram. So the four divisions are called as varnas, and then the four stages of life are called as ashrams: brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, and sannyasi. So brahmachari is before marriage, grihastha is the married life, vanaprastha is when we come close to retiring, and sannyasi is once all our duties, material duties are completed. So we have this four varnas and we have this four ashramas. So he is requesting to describe this as to what are their divisions and what are their orders and how are the symptoms of those who are in those particular varnas and ashrams, how do they behave, what is their mental equilibrium, how is their mind set up, and how do they control their senses. And he is also requesting to describe the birth of the great sages, means the different activities of the rishis. So the intention is to understand and then follow, and then the categorical divisions of the Vedas. So the reason why he is asking all these things is to use the association of Maitreya Muni to get as much knowledge as possible so that we can go back home, back to Godhead. When we listen to the message of the Lord, when we listen to the devotees, when we listen to their pastimes, what happens? Our detachment increases and our material attachment decreases. So, since the time is coming to an end, I am going to stop here. We have many senior devotees here. So, if please feel free to add any comments, to add any points which any of you would like to add. And if there are any questions, please feel free to ask. By the mercy of Lord Krishna, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, our acharyas, and each and every one of you, we shall try to understand. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Very wonderful class. Thank you so much for that. Prabhuji, in the previous shloka, you have quoted the Bhagavad Gita shloka, Yo me janati tattvataha.
Ha, Mataji.
Tat Bhagwan, how to know what is tattvataha then? Like you have quoted here for this material modes of nature, or what are the
No, it is
tattvata's
about
called?
understanding the Lord. So the Lord has the spiritual energies is the direct energy of the Lord, and then the material energy is the indirect energy of the Lord. What is meant by Tattvataha is understanding Lord Krishna. So that understanding will happen when we listen to the pastimes of the Lord, when we listen about His appearance, and when we listen about His qualities, which are told in the Bhagavad Gita and then in the Bhagavatam. So when we understand the Lord, when we understand His Tattva, what is meant by Tattva is that we have to understand that we are part and parcels of Lord Krishna. That is number one. Number two, we have to understand that the as part and parcels, our constitutional position is to serve the Lord. And then what happens? How to serve the Lord? By following the 5 angas of devotional service, chanting the holy names of the Lord, being in the association of devotees, reading the scriptures, accepting the food which is offered as prasadam, and then serving the Lord either in his dham or in our home as deities. So this is how we do the service. And then prayojana, sambandha, abhideya, prayojana. What is the benefit of doing this? We will go back home, back to Godhead. Sambandha is that we are part and parcels of the Lord, and our constitutional position is to serve the Lord. Abhideya is that how to serve the Lord by doing this Panchanga Vidhi. What is the prayojana? When we do that, we will go back home, back to Godhead. So this combination of Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojana is what is called as Tattva. So when we understand that, we don't get diverted here and there. And that will happen when we listen to Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam in the association of devotees. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Hare
Wonderful
Krishna.
class, like always. Anybody has any question? Nothing, doesn't look
Hare
like.
Krishna. Grantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Hare.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo
vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
namo namaha ananta koti vaishnavrinda ki jai.
की जय
Shubha
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय हरे कृष्ण
Thank you
Hare
very much, Prabhu. Thank you all for joining. Hare Krishna. And as Prabhu said, please try and meaning encourage others also to join this class. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna.